Okay, I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm here to bring you part 3 of my F1 2016 career mode series, and at the moment you can see we have just got a chassis upgrade, so we have reduced the chassis weight. And I have to say, if what happened, I know I said this is such a legend, if what happens in this race happened to not last race, if you follow me on Twitter then you will know that Spain is on legend, but the last one wasn't, because obviously the same thing happened again. And there you can see that we have just got purple on the track acclimatization test, and now we have also got purple on the qualifying pace test. And you know, I found them fairly easy, as I usually do on my. So looking at the resource points, you can see that we have 301 resource points at the moment, and we're getting an additional 167 resource points set of 468. And now going on to FP2, we're doing target test. You can see we've got 3 purple laps and two green laps and 1 red lap, and we are currently in the purple right now, and we're going to cross the line to get another purple lap in this practice session. And now you can see that we've got everything 100% perfect, and including all the team objectives. So we have got a full 175 resource points at our disposal for this race weekend. And going on to the resource points at the end of practice 2, we obviously now have 556 resource points. And now looking at the upgrade, we're going to upgrade the downforce, and I think the next thing I'm going to focus on is getting another engine upgrade for Canada and Austria and Azerbaijan. Coming on to qualifying, you come up to the end of our lap. We did get a bit held up by Lewis Hamilton, but we're only going for 1 lap in Q3, got through Q1 and Q2 fairly easy, and we actually get pole in Q3. So I wasn't really expecting that. I was thinking, oh great, it's wet, we're going to be low down. But actually it ended up that we got pole by, I think that's 8 tenths. You see our teammate Jenson Button finishes in 8th place on the grid, and Esteban Gutierrez in 10th, which is quite shocking. And looking at resource points from qualifying, you can see obviously, because we used the engine, because we've upgraded the downforce for the next race, we now have 149 points thanks to 112 resource points that we have now had added. And now coming on to the rivalry update with our teammate Jenson Button, we were already smashing it, and now we actually beat him completely, getting 30, I guess you could say, steps up on him. And looking at the driver's standings, obviously we're going to carry on in 10th because we are there right now. So now looking at the race strategy, you can see we're going for the 3-slot strategy today, starting with the super softs, going to another set of the super softs, then going on to the softs and the mediums for this race weekend. Fairly simple. And now we are going onto the start of the race, skipping out a formation lap as usual, and now we are bringing up 5 red lights, and it's lights out for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we're away, and we actually get a fairly decent start. And it looks like Verstappen might try to go up the inside, but he doesn't, and actually might do. He's still there, and he does go up the inside, and he actually gets past us. So now we've already dropped down into second place, and we actually lose part of our front wing, tapping Verstappen, but nevertheless we get past with slight damage to our front wing. And actually Verstappen and Rosberg on the soft tyres, whereas we are on a super soft. So go for a different strategy. Whether that will play out for them, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see later on in the race. But right now we're up into the lead in the Chinese Grand Prix, and I believe that we maintain the lead for the time being anyway. And coming through this left-hander, now we are cutting on to lap 3, and Nico Rosberg has actually moved up into the lead now. It was a second place, but he passed us with the Irish, then we got the inside, and it turns out that actually Max Verstappen has dropped off, and Ricciardo's now moved up there on the same strategy as us. And on lap 3, we decided to pit a lap earlier than planned and go on to the, I believe it is another set of super softs, and I think that Daniel Ricciardo was on the same strategy as us, whereas other drivers aren't. I believe Jenson Button isn't on the same isn't on a different strategy. So I'll see how all this plays out. But we're going on to the super softs again, and I believe that's a 2.1 second pit stop. I'm not entirely sure. I can't really see it on the score screen. And we rejoin in last place at the moment. But of course that would change. And lap 4, obviously the first corner we are very good at the moment, and we decided to not repair our front wing. Coming now onto lap 4, drives in the pits, and we are moving up in through now, and I believe we are backing Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo's coming out of the pits now, and yes, we are. There he is. That is Daniel Ricciardo, and he is actually ahead of us at the moment as he comes back onto the track. But through the first corner, we got the inside and get the pass done, and up into 16th place. And now you can see there's a train of cars there with Nazar, Haryanto, I believe that is, and a Renault, and I think it's a Rosso there in this train. And now we're quite up to the train, and we are going around the outside of Nazar, which then turns to the inside for the next corner. And next up is Rio Haryanto in the Manor. Should be fairly easy to pass him. Of course he is in the Manor, but of course he does have the Mercedes engine is coming down the back straight. We'd probably be pretty hard to catch, as he has got the Mercedes engine in the back of that car, and it's a very slippery, low downforce car, so it should be good in a straight line. That's probably why they were good in real life Formula 1 in 2016 with the straight line speed, but they're not too good, but they're obviously not in Formula 1 for 2017, which is a bit sad, but also not at the same time. I'm not really too bothered about that, really. And coming to the hairpin, we actually got the inside, and it actually looks like he's still there, and he actually comes back at us and actually gets past us. And through the final corner, he decided it's too risky to make a move there, but we do have the DRS coming up into the first corner, but so does Haryanto. But coming up through the gears, it seems like we're keeping keeping fairly close, and we go to the outside, which means we run wide, but then we cut back up to the inside and got the inside of Haryanto, we have got the pass done. Next up it is Daniel Kvyat, and then we have Ken Magnussen ahead of us, and going up the inside. Kvyat right now, actually we get the pass done and up into 13th place, and now we have Ken Magnussen ahead of us in the Renault, and we actually decided to dive up the inside there and right side front lock up on the right hand side tyre, but we do get the pass done up into 12th place. Next up is Felipe Massa on the soft, and now it actually turns to Jeremy Palmer, who got the inside there. Textbook move on the Renault up into 11th place. Next up is Felipe Massa. He's on the soft tyres, so which we in theory should be quicker. And now on lap 7, opening the DRS down the back straight, and we are going to go up the inside here and down to second gear and get to the apex of the air first, and that is us up into 10th place. Next up on our hit list is Roman Grosjean, and I believe that some drivers actually made a pit stop, so I believe that we are actually in a legitimate 10th place. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, we have slight damage to our front wing, but that isn't affecting us too much. I hadn't really noticed. But now Massa down the start of his straight comes back at us with the DRS down that very, very fast Williams in a straight line. I was expecting him to be very, very good when we get into Monza later on this season, and he's actually got ahead of us at the moment, but we're still fighting back, and he's actually ahead of us, and slight contact I believe there was there, and actually it looks like there wasn't contact there. Now going to the inside of Felipe Massa again, which is now turns to the outside of this, and so Massa on the inside, and now he's ahead, but we decide to dive up the inside into turn 4, I'm going to call this, and we do in fact get, and actually Massa's still on the outside there, and now we've got the pass done on Massa up into 10th place. Onto lap 8 now, we are coming into the pits, as is Roman Grosjean and Felipe Massa, so we're being followed in. So we're following Grosjean in, and Massa is following us in. So I believe we're going to go onto these soft tyres, and Massa I believe is going on to the mediums on. I can't really remember. But nevertheless, we're going to have to try and stay ahead of Massa through the pit stops. It's Haas versus McLaren versus Williams. And on the soft tyres, it's a 1.9 second pit stop. So that is a very, very good pit stop from the McLaren guys. And we rejoined in 15th with Grosjean ahead of us. It was actually quite far ahead of us, so it wasn't really a battle between Haas, McLaren and Williams. It was mainly between McLaren and Williams. Nevertheless, though, we are now up into, well, down to 15th. Now on lap 13, we're back up into 10th place, and it looks like we're being put under pressure by now Kimi Räikkönen, actually, the Iceman in the Ferrari, and there's yellow flags at us, and actually I can see that there's 2 cars there, and Sergio Perez is out of the race. We've just passed Sergio Perez, so looking at a replay of that. So it's Palmer and Perez battling with, I believe that is signed ahead, and so Palmer's going into the pits. That might explain that. On board with Palmer now. So we know Palmer's going to the pits, and yeah, Perez tried to carry on, and can't, as Palmer's going to the pits. And now from Perez's point of view, this is where it gets interesting. And that was, you see there, he tried to carry on, but Palmer went into the pits, and Palmer should have backed out of that really, because that was Palmer's fault in my opinion. If you let me know in the comments whose fault you think it was, as we get past Räikkönen. But I think that was Palmer's fault for not noticing that Perez. For not backing out, because Perez could have carried on, but that was a very, very heavy whack, which is probably why Perez is out, which is why it ripped off Perez as well. And now Grosjean's out of the race, and I can tell you now that he actually had an engine failure, as I think Gutierrez does as well. I'm not entirely sure, but nevertheless, so 20 people in the race at the moment, and Gutierrez is still in the race, and coming into the pits now on lap 16, we did a bit of a Hamilton by going into the gravel, but nevertheless we didn't stay in the gravel. Which is alright, and coming into the pits from P9 now, so we haven't actually got back up to where we were, which was around the lead, which is a bit disappointing. Not necessarily what we really wanted, but that is cool, but it's fine. And right now you can see that we are having a set the media tyres off on the car, and we were actually held up from, I believe that is Ricciardo and Massa, and coming out of the pits now we are rejoining in 15th place, which is not too bad. We have Ricciardo and Massa ahead of us, and at the first corner we are looking to get the pass from Ricciardo and a chance to side contact, and then we actually go on the inside again. We sort of barge our way through there, but that is completely that is allowed. And next up is Felipe Massa in 14th place, and I would also just like to say this is the last 50% race I'm doing now on my F1 2016 career mode. Maybe I might do another one. For the final race, I'm not so sure yet. I need to make that decision at some point. But now coming on to the back straight on lap 17. This back straight is about to get a lot of action. I can tell you right now. Ricciardo gets past with the DRS, and we decide to stick in the switch and then dive up the inside at the hairpin, get to the apex first, and that is us back up into 14th place. And Massa, I believe there's somebody else, and they've gone to the pits. So now I believe we move up into, I believe it's 12th place or something like that, and it is in fact 12th place, yes. And now the back straight, the very next lap, no, 2 laps later actually, Ricciardo again goes up or inside even before the DRS this time, but we again decide to stick in the slipstream, and I believe we're going to throw up the inside again, and yes, we are going up the inside and braking down to second gear. He's trying to stick with us this time, and we have actually got ahead of him again pretty easy. It looks like he's going to go out the inside. We gave him room, but he didn't go out the inside, so we are back up into third place. But now with the DRS again for Ricciardo, he now goes up or inside before turn 1, again using the DRS, and of course we're going to go up the inside of turn 1, going down to second gear, which gets us a good turn in and gets us good traction as well, and giving the space there as he actually hits us out of his way and actually gets ahead. But now we are going to carry on and try to get up his inside up into turn 4, and we do dive up in the inside turn 4. Very audacious move, slight right front lock up, but not too bad from ourselves, and back up into third place. Now on the very next lap, back onto the back straight once again. Daniel Ricciardo again going to have DRS, and he will easily pass us. And we again decide to go into the slipstream, follow him around on the track as he sort of swerves in front of us, and then dive up the inside here up into the hairpin. Ricciardo's actually locked up, he's made a straight wide. We've run wide, and but nevertheless, so now we're still battling. I was hoping that would just get the pass done, but it didn't. And he's actually going up here inside, and we make the part, and actually we've gone side by side through the final corner. Very risky move, but now we have the DRS on Ricciardo, but he is actually ahead of us, and this is a Honda engine, can't outpace the Renault engine. But coming up to the first corner, what we're going to do, we're going to go up the inside again, of course, aren't we? Second gear to get the turn in, slightly on marbles, but nevertheless we do get up the inside. And actually, no, he's barged out of his way again. And I believe up into turn 4 we're going to dive up the inside again. Maybe go for the outside, depending on if Ricciardo leaves a gap up the inside. And he has, so we're just going to dive up the inside. And again, a slight front right lock up, but that's okay. We are now up into 12th place ahead of Daniel Ricciardo once again. And now on the very same lap 20, we are now coming back onto the back straight for, I believe, it's the 4th time. And Ricciardo again goes up the inside with the DRS. And then we again, it's same thing over and over again. And sticking the slipstream, dive up the inside. And actually, no, and yes, we do actually dive up the inside slightly. I didn't know if that was entirely going to work. But Ricciardo this time is still there, so he's actually goes up the inside now, and I'm moving the space again. We're on slightly wide, and we actually get spun. So I'm not so sure whose fault that was. Maybe could be my fault, maybe could have been Ricciardo's fault. We're going to look at the replay from this view, which isn't the best view. And you really just look at it, you can't really tell whose fault that was. I guess it could be my fault for running off wide. But now look at Ricciardo, and he goes up the inside. That's completely fine. And I think that could be our fault because we were slightly off the track, and so we were still in the middle of turning. But dropped down nevertheless, and now Magnussen has passed us, but we're not going to take that on lap 22. We're going to go up the inside and try. And now we are battling a Renault, and Esteban Gutierrez is now out of the race. I did say I believe he had an engine failure, but I thought that I wasn't entirely sure, and I saw that he was still in the race. And coming through here, this isn't the best view, but there you can see, if you look right at the back, you can see his engine is smoky, so he has had an engine failure, unfortunately. So not a very good day for Haas, with 2 engine failures from the Ferrari power units in this Grand Prix. And now on the back straight on lap 22 again, you can see that Kevin Magnussen is now going up or inside, and he's got past us easily there. And now coming up 3 ahead of him, we're going to go for the outside. And Palmer is behind, and I believe he's just made a pit stop, so he might be getting into the action. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, we're battling Magnussen very hard, and we actually get ahead, and we actually get the DRS as well to, I guess you could say, maintain our advantage against him. And now on lap 24, 4 laps left in this race. And Magnussen is going up the inside again, and now I believe Palmer is there, and he also goes up inside. So now we're battling 2 Renaults, which I believe we had, and now we decided to turn our focus to Palmer first, try and get ahead of him, and then to try to attack again Magnussen up into the final corner now. And I believe Magnussen I think Magnussen has lost cause. We do have DRS, but we made a mistake through the final corner. That was when I decided, right, let's focus on staying ahead of Palmer. And with the DRS, Palmer actually gets the DRS as well, and that Renault engine just is better than the Honda. He goes up or inside. But now we're going to dive up the inside of the first corner, as we usually do, and that puts us back up into 14th place with only 19 runs in this Grand Prix. So not going too well for us at the moment in this Grand Prix. It looks like we're not going to score points with only 3 laps left in this race. And now as we're coming on to, I believe it was lap 26. Palmer is now going up or inside, and it looks like he's coming up through the hairpin now. Second gear, he's still on our inside, we're on the outside, so we should in theory get better acceleration off the corner, and we do, with better traction as well. And coming through the final corner, we're going to have DRS, but so will Palmer. And Palmer, of course, has that Renault engine in the back of his car, in that works Renault, and that's going to be faster than the Honda, unfortunately, which is why we're I'm going to focus on the engine upgrade, getting the second engine upgrade next. So we should be better at high speed tracks. I believe we're out in time for Monaco, not for Spain. I'm not entirely sure. I have actually recorded qualifying for Spain. I just need to record the race at the moment, which is probably what I'm going to do straight after this race. And now on lap 26 still, Palmer does in fact get ahead of us, and once again down the back straight, and we are going to, and it is actually quite far ahead, so I don't believe we aren't going to be able to get up the inside this time. And we do go, we're going around the outside, and actually we run wide, and that's now now Palmer's lost cause as well. So from here on I just thought, right, let's just set up 15th place. I can't attack Magnussen. I can't attack Palmer or Magnussen. The car doesn't have the speed, I don't have the speed, and the tyres weren't really up to it either. The tyres were pretty much dead. So I'll have to try and do better in the next race. So if we finish 15th in this race, I was really disappointed with that. But for the next race, we should be okay, hopefully, at Russia. Of course, that's going to be on Australia because what happened in this race. And now looking at race results, you can see Lewis Hamilton won his third Grand Prix in a row ahead of Nico Rosberg. He gets his second place in a row ahead of Max Verstappen, rounding out the podium with Valtteri Bottas in 4th, Raikkonen in 5th. My teammate James Blunt finished in 6th to get some points on the board from McLaren. Sainz in 7th, Massa in 8th, and then Ricciardo and Hulkenberg ran out the top 10. And Vettel surprisingly finished in 11th. And then you can see myself, I finished in 15th, and the drivers not finished the race were Esteban Gutierrez, Romain Grosjean and Sergio Perez. And now looking at the race directly, you can see that the AI is on master, and I was indeed the human. And I'll go into the Drivers' Championship. You can see that Lewis Hamilton extends his lead to 21 points, and Nico Rosberg was racking. Now, do you want to go on the screen? Now onto the constructors. McLaren, we are in 5th place. Title points with Williams, while Mercedes extend their lead to, I believe that is 77 points ahead of Ferrari. And now looking at the resource points for that race, disappointing race, but nevertheless we do still get 82 resource points to take off total up to 231. Now looking at the driver standings, we are going to go down 2, but then we're going to go back up to 9, exceeding the drivers, exceeding the team's objectives. And now on to the career score, which we don't really care about. That is nothing really important. But that's been the videos. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big like. Comment down below what you thought. Subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at shadow/82. As always, there is a link down in the description, and music that was used in this video will also be down in the description. That's been it from me, and I will see you next time.